Hey everyone, HomerStarFan13 here. Welcome back to the next video of the video game collection series, and this time it's going to be Nintendo DS. So yeah, I was hoping to do DS and 3DS in one video, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. I think I've got too many of each, so they're going to be all one separate video. Sorry, but you know, just it's better to do it that way. I don't want the videos to be too long. So let's just get right into it, and we're going to start with, as usual, the Nintendo games. So let's go with the Mario games. First off, we've got New Super Mario Brothers. Yep, this franchise again. I mean, like I said, I've not got much else to say. I mean, obviously I can say this was the first one, so this is probably the best one. I think it's the most fun. Like, obviously, with it being the first one, it was actually new. But of course, then they sort of ran the franchise into the ground. But it's got, you know, some unique stuff in it. It's got the Mega Mushroom. It's got, you know, the Koopa Shell power-up and that. Yeah, I think it's quite fun. I mean, yeah, if you're going to get any of them, then get this one, I think. Again, nothing else to say about these games, so I look forward to the 3DS video, and I've got to talk about the New Super Mario Bros. Series again. Next up, Mario Party DS. Yeah, this is super underrated Mario Party. Like, I feel like whenever people talk about the best Mario Party games, I feel like this one always gets sort of left out. And it's such a shame because I think it is really good. Yeah, it is a traditional Mario Party game, but on the DS. Like, at a time when, I think this came out after Mario Party. This is like between 8 and 9, so this is before the Mario Party series like officially died. But because of that, I feel like it's the one no one really talks about. So yeah, if you haven't played this yet, I'd highly recommend it. It is good. All I would say is turn on to like phone only games because those suck. Yeah, like obviously with it being the DS, had to focus on all the things that they added to the DS, but no, yeah, I think it's good. I think really recommend it. Next up, Mario Slam Basketball, or I believe this is called Hoops 3-on-3 in America. Yeah, just Mario Basketball. It's fine, I guess. Obviously, this is like weirdly enough, this is actually made by Square Enix of all companies. So it's got a couple of Final Fantasy characters in this, but like, you know, classic Final Fantasy characters. Like, there's no Cloud or whatever in this, but yeah, it's just Mario Basketball. Nothing else to say. Yeah, it's just fun. Yeah, like I'm not saying I've not got a lot to say about a lot of these games. I think because they're handheld stuff, there's not really a lot of stuff to them, if you know what I mean. Or maybe it's just because I've gone through some of these franchises so much now that it's hard to find new things to say. Yeah. But anyway, speaking of next up, so that was the like regular Mario stuff. Now it's the Mario spin-offs, and we've got WarioWare Touched. Super good game. Yeah, love WarioWare, and I think this is like one of the best ones. I want to say this was like a very early release for the system, although I only got it like I didn't get this when it was like new. I want to say I got this when the 3DS was out. If I remember rightly, I was going away to Florida and I bought this game so I'd have stuff to play when I was sort of there. And yeah, I'm glad I did. I'm glad I bought this game because this game is super good. It's WarioWare. WarioWare is always good. I mean, yeah, I think this is one of the best ones. It's got some really unique micro games and all that, and it actually uses the DS's the DS's gimmicks to its advantage. You know, the touchscreen stuff, you know, microphone stuff, unfortunately. But yeah, super recommend this one as well. Next up, a WarioWare game that is good but not as good. WarioWare DIY, WarioWare Do It Yourself. So the whole point of this one was you could make your own micro games, which is good, but the problem is that all of the micro games that are made in the game are very basic, because the whole point is that they're made using the like in-game creator, and the whole point is you have to make them, so they're all really basic and there's nothing really unique to them. Like, it's still a good game. I mean, I guess the big issue now with this is that you can't, like, there's no way to share micro games to people. Like, obviously there was the WiiWare release, but that's been taken down, so it's a shame that there's no way to actually easily share micro games to people, and like that was the only way to do it. And it would have been better if there was a better way of doing it. But if you like enjoy creating stuff, I think you can have some fun with it. But I'm never the creative type in these types of games, so I basically played it as an actual WarioWare game. And if you're playing it as a WarioWare game, you're not going to spend a lot of time on it, unfortunately. But yeah, it's still fine. And I guess this one's technically a Mario game, but also technically not. And that's Diddy Kong Racing DS. So this is actually quite unique, because this is obviously a game made by Rare. And this was back when Rare were with Microsoft. So Microsoft had purchased Rare at this point, but I think it was because Microsoft didn't have a handheld system. They allowed them to make handheld games for Nintendo, which is why, you know, Banjo Pilot and Grunty's Revenge released on GBA and that, because Microsoft allowed them to, and they allowed them to make this. Although there's no Banjo and Conquer, unfortunately, they got replaced with Dixie and Tiny, I want to say. I haven't played much of this one. I only got this not long ago, and from what I can gather, it's just like the same game. But a lot of people, from what I can gather, a lot of people don't like this one that much. I think it's got like issues to it. Like there's some weird things about it that make it not as fun as the original. But I think it's all fine. You know, if you want to play Diddy Kong Racing, I guess there's... unless you can get the N64 version, then I guess this one would be fine. I wonder if they'll release the N64 game to N64 Online. That'd be nice if they did that. I think they put Banjo-Kazooie on there, so it's not like they can't do it, but yeah, that'd be nice if they could. Yeah. Next up, we've got the Pokemon game. So first up, we've got Pokemon Diamond. This was, I mentioned, the first Pokemon game I ever really played, and yeah, I think it's obviously been a long time since I played this version. I'm currently playing through Shining Pearl on Switch, and it's not as good. Like, I think again, it's hard to like talk about Pokemon games like in generally, because I think they're all sort of similar. Obviously, they've all got their own like quirks to them and their greatness to them, but yeah, Diamond is always be special to me because I do think it's fun. It's got some good like star Pokemon in it. I like Piplup because I like penguins, so that's good. And like the legendaries are good. I mean, I never beat Pokemon Diamond, so I don't really have a lot to sort of say about the late game stuff. But yeah, it's still, this will have a lot of nostalgia for me. Next up, Pokemon Heart Gold. So I think people consider this to be the best Pokemon game. This and Soul Silver, like the things they added to this remake. Like it's why people were upset with like Shining Pearl, because this remake added so much, while Shining Pearl and Brilliant Diamond didn't. Like if they made it more like Heart Gold and Soul Silver, it would have been good. Again, I've not played much of this one yet, but yeah, from what I've played of it, it's very good. Yep, nothing else to say. Just I love Pokemon and that. Last one of the regular Pokemon games, we've got Pokemon White version. This is my most recent Pokemon game I bought. Super happy I got this. I got this at my retro shop because I think I took in a bunch of stuff to sell. It gave me one of those like receipt, what do you call it, like discount things, and I luckily had enough for Pokemon White, so I bought it. And yeah, I only played a bit of it, but there's definitely some uniqueness to Gen 5, because obviously they this was like the first time when a generation had all new Pokemon in it. There was no like there was no classic Pokemon on it. It was all new. I was kind of thinking, like, with it being the 5th generation, maybe they should. I hope they do that for Gen 10 as well. Like every 5th generation, they should do a game with just new Pokemon in it. I think that'd be a quite interesting way of doing stuff. But yeah, I look forward to playing more of this one. And that's it for the Pokemon games. We've got Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Blue Rescue Team. So I mentioned this in my GBA video that this is this was the game I wanted for Christmas, but I got Emerald instead. But as mentioned, Emerald was probably the better game to get. Yeah, this game's fine. I like the concept of it, of you turning into a Pokemon and that, but I never really got that far into this game. I always just got stuck at points. Yeah, like I say, concept's fun, but apart from that, it's just okay. And what the remakes just didn't appeal to me, but yeah, it still seems fine. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that one. Good game, but just didn't enjoy it as much. Just couldn't get that far into it when I was younger. Maybe if I play it again, I might enjoy it more, but that's about it. And last up for the Nintendo section is just the other stuff. So first off, we've got Tetris DS. So people say this is like the best Tetris game, and I've not played a lot of this, so it's funny. So it's this game and 3 others that we'll see later. My brother's girlfriend gave them to me, and yeah, this is probably like the best of the ones she got me. She gave me in that, because yeah, this is like, as mentioned, probably the best Tetris game. But you know, not a lot else to say. It's Tetris, and that's about it. But it's got a lot of extra modes to it, and like the like style of it is great because they got all the Nintendo like branding all over it. Like, it was actually published by Nintendo and all that. So yeah, I think if you're gonna get any Tetris game, this is probably your best bet, or maybe that PS4 like one. Yeah, that's about it. Next up, I think I mentioned this in my Switch video, but I'll say it again. Big Brain Academy. Yeah, pretty fun. It's always it's like I've always preferred this over Brain Age. I just think this one's got more personality to it. And yeah, it's just like a lot of. This is the best. It's just fun to sometimes do the games on there and that. I will say something funny though. I actually rebought this game literally a week before the Switch version was announced, so it felt like I wasted my money. But yeah, it doesn't matter. They're still fun, huh? And last up in the Nintendo section, the greatest Nintendo game of all time, Cooking Guide. Yeah, so this is a literal cooking guide on Nintendo DS. I mean, there's nothing else to say about it. It's just a cooking guide for DS. I mean, it works for what it is, but we haven't really used it. Like, it was funny because I've done a bunch of cooking like lately, and my mum asked me me and my mum decided to get this again to see if we could like do some cooking together, and we've not done it yet. One day we'll do it, and this won't feel like a wasted purchase. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the third-party games. We'll start off with the Sonic series. So I think actually I'll do all three of these games together because they're basically the same. So we've got Sonic Rush, Sonic Rush Adventure, and Sonic Colors. Yeah, sorry, it's so annoying that these game cartridges are a lot smaller than all the others. Actually, oh, that's as far as I can go. Oh, okay, so sorry, that's as close as I can get to them. So yeah, they're all fun. They're all basically the same style of game. I'd argue that these are the games that kind of popularized the boost format. So like Colors is basically Rush 3, but just based on the console game. Rush Adventure is probably the weakest of the three because it's got a lot of annoying padding to it where you got to like use the boat stuff and collect like materials to fix the boat. And but yeah, Sonic Rush is the cool one because that's the one that introduced Blaze, and Blaze is awesome. Yeah, they're all basically good. I think the only one I've beaten is Colors DS, and yeah, they're all pretty fun. I think they're all great. If you can buy any of the DS, I think these are the best games to get on. These are some of the best games to get on the system, actually, is these games. Just avoid Sonic Chronicles, because I do kind of want to get Sonic Chronicles, I'm curious to see what the game's like, but I think I know it's not going to be very good. But yeah, they're all great. They're all good games. Next up is Rayman Raving Rabbids. So yeah, this is actually quite interesting. So this is the DS version of the Wii game, but because it's like, this is basically based on the early idea of Raving Rabbids, which was that it was going to actually be a proper platformer and not a minigame compilation. So if you actually want a proper Rayman game sort of based on that style, yeah, I'd recommend this game. I think it's actually pretty good. I actually really quite like it. I actually remember buying this sort of randomly when I was younger at like we were on holiday and we were in like one of those like corner shops, I guess, and they had a copy of this and I got it. And yeah, I think it's pretty fun. I haven't played it in years, but I do think it is quite cool. Yeah, so it's like sort of a hidden Rayman game that I don't think anyone really knows about. But yeah, pick it up if you can find it. Next up, new International Track and Field. I actually really like Track and Field. I think it's a really sort of fun series. And yeah, this is the DS version. I've only played like a bit of it as well, but yeah, what I've played, it's quite fun, quite hard because there's like they're very strict on how much you've got to get to win, and because it's the DS, there's a lot of touchscreen mini games and that. But yeah, overall, I think it's pretty cool and that. I think I remember this has like got a bunch of secret characters in it, so I think you can play as like Pyramid Head from Silent Hill. Pretty sure Solid Snake's here, Simon Belmont as well. I think one of the characters from Rumble Roses is in this as well. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it. These next few I've got barely anything to say about. Next up, Club Penguin. One of the Club Penguin games, Elite Penguin Force. Yeah, Club Penguin's great. I used to love going on Club Penguin when I was younger, and this is obviously based on. It's like, it really is like just playing Club Penguin like on a DS. So there's actually a story to it. It's kind of like a point and click adventure game, I'd say. Kind of like a sort of a putt styled game. Obviously not as clever and creative, but I think they're pretty cool. I mean, considering that you can't play Club Penguin officially anymore, these games are the best ways of playing those games. So yeah, I think they're okay. I think again, I've not played a lot of it, but I think it's for what it is, it's fine. Now these next two together, because again, I've got nothing to say about these two. Zoo Tycoon DS and Sims 2. So if you remember, I said about my brother's girlfriend giving me a bunch of games. These were two of the other games I got, and Yeah, I've not played a lot of Z Tycoon. I've not played a lot of either of these games, and they seem fine for what they are. Sims 2 is weird though because it's not like you make a family and you do that. I think in Sims 2 there's actually a story to it. But like again, I've not played enough of these games to have an opinion on them. So yeah, that's about it. Now we go to the licensed game sections. First up, we've got all these SpongeBob games. So first up, the Yellow Avenger. This is a PSP version as well. Yeah, just fine, I guess. I mean, I've not played. Again, it's another one of those games I had when I was younger, but I've barely played since. But it's pretty like, obviously, again, because it's an early DS game. There's a lot of forced touchscreen controls on it. Like, yeah, the way you have to like milk jellyfish, and that's quite awkward. Yeah, I mean, again, I haven't played it in a long time. I never beat it, so I remember it being quite confusing figuring out where to go in and stuff. But that might just be because I was young. Maybe one day I'll go back and play this game, but yeah, it's okay, I guess. Now this is a good one. Frantic Fry Cook. I believe this is called Beach Party Cook-Off in America. Really fun game. Really fun little game this. So it's like you play a SpongeBob and you've got to cook stuff. And I just like, I've always kind of liked cooking games. They're always quite fun. And I had a lot of fun with this when I was younger. And I think it's pretty underrated. I feel like people don't give enough praise to this game. I really like it. I think it's quite fun. But yeah, nothing else to sort of say about it. It is kind of a basic game, but those games can be fun sometimes, especially for DS and that. It's like, you know, obviously you make stuff with the DS stylus and that, and yeah, I really enjoy it. Really fun. I'd recommend you pick this one up if you like SpongeBob and you haven't picked that game up yet. I recommend you do. Oh, now this is a very good one. Atlanta Square Panthers on DS. So the console version of Atlanta Square Panthers is awful. Like probably one of the worst SpongeBob games they ever made. And also the actual special is terrible as well. But the DS one is surprisingly pretty fun. It's actually a proper platformer. And I've only played like the first level of it. And yeah, it seems, for DS standards, it's really good. You know, for a 3D platformer on DS. Obviously it's not going to be like Battle for Bikini Bottom levels. But I think for what they did with it, I think it's good. Yeah, I recommend you get this one. Apparently I've heard that 2-4 Square on DS is also really good. Yeah, who would have thought that the handheld versions of Atlanta Square Panthers and 2-4 Square were the good ones? That's where the actual effort went. Yeah. So yeah, pick this one up if you can. Next up we've got an Avatar game. Avatar: The Last Airbender, Burning Earth. Yeah, I've only played like a bit of this one. I only bought it because it's Avatar and that, but yeah, literally nothing else to say about it. I don't know if it's good, if it's bad, or whatever, I can't remember what the game is. I don't know if it was like I want to say it was like an RPG or something, like a sort of more like a Legend of Zelda styled RPG, but like obviously no to the level of that quality. But yeah, it's probably not gonna be that fun. But again, it was Avatar, and I like Avatar, so I wanted to buy it. Next up, we've got the Cartoon Network section. So we'll start off with a franchise that is loosely based on Cartoon Network, Dragon Ball Z. So first up, we've got Dragon Ball Z Super Sonic Warriors 2. I like the first one. I used to play that on emulators all the time, and I think a friend had this game as well, and I used to play it on his DS as well. And yeah, so I finally got it, and I've only played a bit of it, but yeah, it's basically the same as the original Super Sonic Warriors, and pretty fun. I really like it. Yeah, not much else to say. Just a really good game. Next up, this was a game I'm really happy I got a copy of. Dragon Ball Z Attack of the Saiyans. So for years, I thought this game didn't come out in the UK. I thought this was an American-only release, and it wasn't until like I was looking up Dragon Ball Z games to buy that I found out that this actually did get a UK release. And yeah, I picked this up at my retro shop. He had it, and I picked it up. And yeah, from what I've only played like a bit of it, but it is really good. It's a proper Dragon Ball Z RPG, and I think it's great. Obviously based on the Saiyan saga. Yeah, from what I played, it's really fun. I need to play more of this as well because it's really cool. Unfortunately, it didn't sell well enough, so we didn't get games based on the Frieza saga or the Cell saga. But, you know, for what we got, I think, just be happy that we got one of them, I guess. Next up, I've got nothing to say about this game. Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, Imagination Invaders. So, yeah, I can't remember anything about this game. I only beat it, like, not long ago. I want to say, like, last year I beat this game? Yeah, like, last year I want to say, and I barely remember it. Like, no, generally, I cannot remember anything about this game. I remember it being pretty dull and boring. Considering I can't remember anything about it, that's probably accurate. Yeah, like only pick this up if you like Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, but I'd say probably just avoid it. It's a shame we only got 2 Foster's games and they were both not very good. Yeah. Next up, okay, not a lot to say about this one either. Galactic Taz Ball. So obviously Taz from Looney Tunes. This is a very typical DS game because you play as Taz like in a ball and you've got to use the stylus to move him about. So it's got really, really awkward stylus controls. Yeah, I would probably not recommend this game. I don't think it's... I've only played level 1 of it, but just the fact that you've got to use the stylus and that, it's not fun. Yeah. Next up, okay, this is a very, very interesting game. Looney Tunes Cartoon Concerto. This is a Looney Tunes ripoff of Elite Beat Agents. No, I'm not joking. This is Elite Beat Agents but Looney Tunes. So it's like a rhythm-styled game, but not a very good one because it's not... Because it's like, from what I can gather, the whole point is that you go through like Looney Tunes shorts and you use the stylus to like tap to the beats and that. So I think the first one is the opera one, you know, with the Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd. But like, I don't think there's actually like rhythms to it. If you know what I mean. There's no music, or it kind of is, but it's not like actually catchy music you would actually want to beat to the rhythm, you know, want to play to the rhythm and that. But I mean, I'd still recommend it just for the insanity of Looney Tunes Elite Beat Agents, but probably not the best Looney Tunes game out there. Next up, this one's pretty fun actually. Wacky Races Crash and Dash. Yep, another Wacky Races game. So I think I mentioned the Wii version of the game is not very good. DS one's actually not that bad. I think it was easier to control the DS version because you actually use the stylus to sort of move the characters up, and that works. And actually the mini games were a lot better on the DS than that. But yeah, the biggest issue is the ending. So at the end of the race, you've got to do something called the last dash, and what you've got to do is you've got to use the DS, you've got to use your DS stylus and rub it across the screen like that, whilst also blowing into the microphone at the same time. It's so annoying, especially when you want to play this in public, because you know then you just look like an idiot. You look like a crazy person. You know why would anyone want to play a handheld game in the public? That'd be ridiculous. So yeah, I think if you're going to get Crash and Dash, I'd recommend the DS version, but they both have their issues. And last up, Cutting Out Racing for the DS. Yeah, so I've mentioned the PS2 version. DS version's a bit different, but not as good. I mean, I don't think they both aren't very good games, but the DS version is really hard. Like, I only beat it like last year, and I actually did kind of make it my mission to finish it, and it was quite fun in a way. You know, to actually, when you've been struggling with a game so long and then you finish it, it is always fun to do that. But it's not. In all fairness, I only did that to unlock the Cartoon Network episodes on there, but there's only 3 of them though, so which is a shame. But at least they're funny episodes. Like that's yeah, it's the only way to do that is to what I don't know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, just if you like Cartoon Network Racing, then maybe pick it up. But I don't think it's as good as like the PS2 version, which I also didn't think that was very good either. Next up, we've got the Disney section, because again they own everything, and we'll do these next two together because they're kind of the same. Lego Star Wars 2, the original trilogy, and Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga. Yeah, so that's the last game my brother's girlfriend gave me was Lego Star Wars 2, and from what I can gather, it's not a very good game. I've only played bits of it, but yeah, it's not good. I've done a bit of Complete Saga, and that seems fine. Like, obviously, they're going to be nowhere near as good as the console versions. I kind of just picked Complete Saga up because I was curious to see what it was like on DS. And yeah, it seems kind of okay. Again, I wouldn't recommend these versions. I would just recommend you get the console version. But overall, I think they're not the worst version. Well, this version's probably not very good, but I think Complete Saga you could do probably worse. But I think it's fine, But again, I've not played enough of it to really have a proper opinion of it. Speaking of games I've not played enough about to have a proper opinion on, Star Wars Lethal Alliance. So yeah, this is one of those weird expanded universe Star Wars games, you know, back when that existed, where you play as like a Twi'lek bounty hunter, like an original character made for this game. And yeah, it's unique. It's cool to have a game like this which focuses on different characters and that, but yeah, it's from what I've played, it was okay. I think there's a PSP version as well, so that might be the better version. But yeah, I think I'd recommend it just for the uniqueness of having a new sort of character and new story in that. Next up, Iron Man. Yeah, I think this one's fine. I think I've only played the first level. This I actually would say this is probably better than the actual console version, but yeah, that's pretty much all I can say. You'll notice that a lot of these games there's not a lot to say because, as mentioned, like these handheld like ports of console games, there's not a lot to say about them because they're very basic, you know? Because they'll be fun, but they're just basic, especially if I've already talked about the original version. Yeah. Next up, I can actually just talk a lot about this one, Simpsons game. Yeah, this one is really difficult. I won't say difficult, but it's annoying. So it's like unlike so it's a 2D platformer compared to the 3D version of the console version, and it's just there's some fun to be had with it, but it's also, as mentioned, really irritating. There's a lot of irritating moments to it. I would very much not recommend you get this one. Just get the console version. It's just much better. You know, unless you're just a massive Simpsons fan, you've got to have every Simpsons game. You know, like me. Yeah, wouldn't recommend it, but I guess you could do worse. Like this. Yeah, so does anyone remember the Core in the House meme? Because that was the only reason I bought this game. I've never seen the TV show. I don't even think I've really played it that much. I bought it, again, it's just one of the things where the meme was quite big. I saw it in the retro shop. I bought it as a joke. And that was about it. And yeah, I think I played it once because I was with my friend and he was into the meme as well. And that was about it. Yeah, it's surprisingly, it's a bad game. Who would have thought? Yeah, but I keep it for the memes, but I don't think I'm ever going to go back to it. Was am I right in saying that the guy who played Corey like went to prison or something? Did that happen? I might just be like making stuff up. I think that happened or something. So it makes it really awkward to go back to this meme and that. Whatever. These are the last ones. There's not a lot to say about these ones either because there's just basic stuff. Like this is another one which I can't really say because I've already got the console version. Hell's Kitchen. It's the exact same as the Wii version. Like literally the exact same, except you use a stylus instead of a Wiimote. And yeah, it's still bad. Next up, FIFA Street 3. So there's quite a funny story about this one. I was at college, and one of my learning supports, they found this game just in like sort of the unit I was in, and they just asked if I wanted it because they knew I liked games, and yeah, they just took it. It's fine, I guess. FIFA Street was a unique sort of series, and it'd be nice to see if, you know, back when EA actually sort of did unique stuff with their franchises, but it's the DS version, so it's probably going to be pretty bland. Next up, Hot Wheels Beat That. Just a typical Hot Wheels game. I want to collect the Hot Wheels games because they're quite fun sometimes. This one's quite interesting because it's kind of like the prototype of what eventually became Unleashed, because you actually race in a living room on like actual like Hot Wheels like roads and that. So that's kind of cool. It's kind of neat to see what, you know, the sort of early stages of what would eventually become Unleashed. So yeah, I guess I'd recommend it only if you like Hot Wheels games and that. But that's about it. And last one, WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2008 featuring ECW. This is a very bad game. It's like, obviously the idea of trying to put a wrestling game on DS was hard, and the way they did it was really bad. You got like use your stylus and press, like do little mini games to do moves, but you can't take your time, because if you do take your time too much, then the AI reverses you, and then they do their own moves to you, and it's just, yeah, it's not very good. But I guess I will say I admire them for trying something different on handheld, you know. And I'll say this, it's better than I think it was 09 I had, and that one on DS is absolutely awful because you've got to like because they made it, because that time you actually do have I don't know what I'm trying to say, yeah, don't buy this one, just get the console versions, they're better. So yeah, that's the DS collection. I hope you've enjoyed. Next up will be PSP games, then there'll be 3DS games, and then that'll be it. So yeah, nearly done. Bye everyone.